Guys, and we're back at it again. It's Speak Up, where we talk about real life situations and problems and we tie them into the teachings of Jesus Christ. All right, so recap for y'all that don't know, I get dreams, and Jesus uses those dreams to help me break down the Bible and break down understanding Him, and I'm trying to break that down for you so you can understand Him as well, right? So the last time we spoke about the person sitting on all of our backs, well, not all of our backs, let me not say that, but in the dream, he was sitting on my back, and he was wearing a hood. You couldn't see under the hood, so you didn't really know who was sitting on your back. Of course, we know that the person sitting on your back, the monkey on your back, is usually the devil trying to get you to do certain things and be deceived by the world and all that, and he's keeping a hood over your head to keep you blind to the things that you should be able to see as a Christian and as a human being. So, in keeping in that topic, my recent dream was that I was walking in a pool, right? It was like a pool that had different sections, but it was one big pool. And I'm walking and there's this thing there, like a little bump, whatever it is in the bottom of the pool. And it's clear. So I couldn't actually see what it was, right? I just see the bump that there was actually something there, but I couldn't see what it was. And then I stepped on it or I butt into it by accident, and it got up and it was violent. It was ready to attack me for accidentally bumping into it. Then I don't know how I got away, but somehow I did because I was there with a couple other people. And I kept walking, and then there was another one, but this time it was different because I sat on it. I didn't see it at all. I sat down and I ended up sitting on it. But this one wasn't as violent. It just, swam away in a rush, kind of like an angry type thing. But this episode is called Something Behind Everything because this to me represents water in itself is there are so many things beneath the ocean that you do not know about and that you probably will never know about, and things that you cannot see. Right? So, of course, in this situation, it was a pool, but I think it would be a representation of what the ocean is, because as clear and as beautiful as it is, and we see all of it, and we know where the ocean is located, the reality is we know basically nothing about the ocean, right? You go in there every day not knowing what's going to be beneath your feet, which shark is going to be there, which fish is going to bite you, you don't know. You just go in the ocean knowing that, oh my God, the ocean could be healing, it could be therapeutic, it's nice, I want to go, it's pretty, blah, 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 right? So this episode, I think I said it already, something beneath or something behind everything. So because I could see that there was something there, which to me is a representation of the fact that we live in a world where we have our own base instincts saying oh my God, something is wrong here. We could get these gut feelings, or we call them women's intuition, whatever it is, we know that something is wrong and something is amiss in most situations. But because we don't have Jesus Christ's discernment attached to that intuition or that basic gut instinct, we can't really see specifically what the issue is and what the problem is and what's wrong in our life or in the situation that we're in. Right? So we're literally just representation, me, that's us just walking through life, right? Just walking through life normally or regularly, whatever, and we're seeing our gut instinct, base instinct is telling us that there is something there, a bump in the road that's coming up. We don't know what it is, but we just know something is about to happen, right? And without the attached discernment of Jesus Christ, like I just said, we go and we step on this, and it almost it reacts in a way to us almost seemingly aggressively or violent, right? Because it seems to us it tears open wounds, it breaks our hearts, it opens up problems that we had or didn't know we had, and it seems almost unexpected. So oh my God, it comes out of the blue, it's so violent, it hurts, it broke my heart, ruined a friendship, caused my marriage to break apart. But without Christ attached to it, Christ is I would literally prepare you for these things. I would help you get through them if you had me right there attached to you all the time, right? We always see oh yeah, Christ is only supposed to be there on Sundays, or he's only supposed to be there during devotion, or when I really need him, then I'll call on him. But Christ is literally no. Every step that you take in this life, every problem that you have, every move that you make, I should be literally attached to everything that you do. Right? And we live this life as if oh my God, God is only there he's only there when I say he should be there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying God should be there all the time, because literally God is omnipresent and omnipotent. So literally he's everywhere we go, and all we have to do is invite him into the situation that we're in. But we're all nah, you God, you can stay over there, stay in the corner of the room, while I do my thing over here. When I need you, I'ma just let you know, and then you can come over and fix whatever the problem is. But that's not how our relationship with God should work. And the second part of the dream represents our life with with Christ attached to our situation, because like I said, the difference is it was the exact same animal, by the way. Like, now that I think about it, I think it was the same animal, just like one was bigger, so it literally blocked my path, and then the other one was like slightly smaller, so like when I sit down, like my butt touched it, and then it like literally like swam away like really, really fast. So representation of the fact that in the first one, that situation, I could have literally tripped and fell. And I know like people don't think of it like so seriously, where like when you fall you could die, but you literally could die if you fall hard enough. Like, if you hit your head hard enough, you could die. And I'm thinking about that situation, and I'm like, if I did trip over the animal, and when the animal was violent, if he did fight me off, because again, most times as human beings we think that we're like stronger than animals. The reality is we're not. It's just that we have a little bit more common sense, so we know how to fight in a different way than they do. But like, it could have fought me off and it could have killed me. And that representation of the situations that we live in our life. It could, our situations, our problems, representation wise, could literally kill us if we don't have Jesus Christ to help us. And not kill you like it could kill you physically, but that's not what I'm talking about. Spiritually is what I'm referring to. Because a lot of times we get into situations and we stray so far away from God because we're now depressed and we're angry and we're sad and we feel like God isn't doing what he said he would do. And the problem literally isn't God. The problem is you, because you don't want to get closer to him. The situation you're in is literally telling you, okay, I have a problem. Now I need to get closer to Jesus. Oh, I'm happy. Now I need to get closer to Jesus. Oh, I'm broke. I need to get closer to Jesus. I need more money. Closer to Jesus. Literally the answer to everything, like I said in one of my other videos, is we need to get closer to God. And that situation is like that is the representation in that situation. But the second situation is almost like, what if we were closer to God? So instead of me like butting up into the animal with like my foot, and the animal fighting back at me, like the situation would literally fight you, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. In that situation, I was sitting down, which means that I was about to touch the ground, which, like I said, you could have fallen in the first one. But this one, I am touching the ground in a subtle way, which means that the situation still is going to happen. You're still going to butt into other things, and life is going to happen. You're still going to have heartache and problems, but it's not going to hit you as hard as it would when you're without Jesus Christ. And then again, the animal didn't fight me back. The animal literally swam off. And it just makes me think about a part in the Bible that says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. And I know that's not for like everything in the situation, because I know a lot of times we have to work through whatever the problem is. But in the situations that we have, if we had Jesus, had we had Jesus right there with us, it wouldn't feel as hard or hit as hard or hurt as much as it did, because Jesus would almost be like cushioning the blow. He would literally be there to catch you when you fall. He would be there to be the cushion when you hit the ground, because he's like, don't worry, I'm going to comfort you. I'm going to make sure you're good. Like, this is a situation that had to happen because somebody did something or whatever the situation is. But I love you, and I want nothing more for you than for you to, like, learn your lesson and then move on. It makes me think of that, the story in the Bible with the slaves from Pharaoh, right? I think, y'all, I really need to read my Bible more. I think it was a situation where they got out and they walked the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. Yeah. And Pastor Mike, that's the only person I remember, like, actually speaking about the fact that they were not supposed to be in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. Like, all they were supposed to do was walk the long route around so they could get to the promised land and then live there in harmony with Jesus Christ. But because of all the things that they were doing, the straying away from God, he's like, nah, now y'all got to learn a lesson. He's like, you already had the lesson taught to you when you were in slavery, which brought you closer to me. But because they went in the desert and strayed away from God, they lost their faith. They started worshiping idols. They started drinking and partying. Like, he's like, okay, so see, y'all learned your lesson, then you forgot the lesson, so now you got to learn it again. We don't have to be in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. And that's what God is telling all of us. You literally don't have to trip and fall over the problems that you have in life. He's like, they're going to happen, but I could be right there with you to help you solve it, to cushion you so you don't hurt as much, to hold your head so you don't die when you hit the ground. But we don't let him do that for us because we always feel like everything is his fault. And God is like, yeah, nah. I'll just wait for you to like come to your senses and like focus more on me, because I'm the solution to every problem that you have. The Bible also literally says that our days are short and full of trouble, which is him literally giving us the warning to the fact that life in itself is a contradiction, which means that the life that we live is going to have problems. In order for us to learn lessons, we're going to go through trials and tribulations and tests and stuff like that, and temptation. Of course, none of this is caused by God. It's just us living the life that we live, and the fact that Adam and Eve sinned brought in all this other stuff that we have to deal with into the world. And he's like, I'm the solution to all this. Everything that you're going through, I am the solution to the problem. Other than that, I'm thinking about the fact that, like I said, the title of it is something behind everything, because, like I said, the water was clear. I could see through the water, right? And the animal was in the water, so I couldn't see the animal itself. But, I'm just thinking about, like, a gigantic turtle. That's the only way I could, like, describe how the animal looked. It was, like, a really huge turtle, and there was, like, a shell and everything. But, like, think of the turtle, instead of it being, like, green, it was, like, entirely see-through, like, you could see straight through the turtle, like no organs, no nothing. It was just like plain out clear. That's the only explanation I could give you to how like it visualized in my head or whatever. So I'm just representing the fact that like in the situations that we live, everything could seem totally clear to us. Like we could seem like we see everything, the world for what it is. But like the last video, we talk about how everything around us is meant to deceive us unless we have the discernment of Jesus Christ to help us be able to truly see, not just physically see, but truly see, spiritual, emotional, psychological, see the problems and fix the problems that we have that are being thrown at us in our everyday life. And in this situation, you're like, the water is clear and you're walking through the water, but you cannot see the problems underneath the water, no matter how clear the water is, because it seemingly is clear for us every day in our daily life, and yet still there is something there blocking our path. There is something there ready to fight us off, ready to kill us, ready to make sure we stray away from God. And just like in the last dream, like the devil is there to keep your eyes covered while still deceiving you into thinking you could literally see everything clearly. Like, oh my God, this is totally not demonic. I'm totally gonna watch it and I'm totally gonna believe it. Like, you have this idea that you are in full control of everything. And the Bible literally says too, there's a part of the Bible that says you are a slave to something. Everybody is a slave to something. It's either you are a slave to your desires, your wants, or you are a slave to the devil, you are a slave to money, you are a slave, and everything outside of Jesus Christ is the devil still deceiving you. So it's either you're a slave to God or you're a slave to the devil. And people don't like to use the word slave, but you have literally what is controlling your life. What is the thing beneath the water that is going to trip you up? Like these are complex thoughts that nobody else ever likes to think about. But this is a reality in the world that we're living in. This world that we live in isn't just flesh and blood. The Bible literally says it's not a physical world. Like we're not thinking about it that way. There are spirits, there are demons, there are things out there that literally want you to forget that God exists. It wants you to forget the fact that there is a God out there that wants to love you and take care of you, that created you to be whole and to have purpose, to not just walk around aimlessly through life. Like they want you to forget all these things, and they will hide beneath the water, clear like the turtle in the water. And then as soon as you are, thinking you're going through life is so easy, it's so simple, they will trip you up and then attack you. That's a double standard, right? Not a double standard. That's a double whammy right there. They will trip you up. That's already a problem. You're tripped up, you have problems, you're tied up, you're tangled up in a situation. And then when you're down, when you're weak, they will attack you. Like, don't think because you're down, oh yeah, you don't hit a brother when he's down. No, they don't play by those rules. They will fight you when you're down and you can't walk, your leg broke. They're going to break it again in 3 more places. The devil doesn't play fair. And that's something that we all have to understand. We all have to get that through our head. He doesn't care whether you're happy. He will make you think that you're happy and then tie you up in a whole bunch of other problems. But that's a conversation for another day. Anyway, y'all, thank you for coming to Speak Up. And remember, there is something behind everything. So make sure you have Jesus Christ right next to you so you can be able to discern whatever is behind it and know that he should be behind you, in front of you, above you, below you, because he loves you and he wants to take care of you. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.